Hi, I'm Delusion Dispelling, and this is Letting Go in 2019 from the book by Melody Beattie, The Language of Letting Go, copyright 1990. Stopping our pain. Some of my feelings have been stored so long they have freezer burn. Beyond Codependency is where that came from, another book by Melody Beattie. There are many sources of pain in our life. Those of us recovering from adult children and codependency issues frequently have a cesspool of unresolved pain from the past. We have feelings, sometimes from early childhood to the present, that either hurt too much to feel or that we had no support and permission to deal with. There are other inevitable sources of pain in our life, too. There is the sadness and grief that comes when we experience change, even good change, as we let go of one part of our life and begin our journey into the new. There is pain in recovery as we begin allowing ourselves to feel while dropping our protective shield of denial. There is the pain that leads and guides us into better choices for our future. We have many choices about how to stop this pain. We may have experimented with different options. Compulsive and addictive behaviors stop pain temporarily. We may have used alcohol, other drugs, relationships, or sex to stop our pain. We may talk compulsively or compulsively focus on other people and their needs as a way to avoid or stop our pain. We may use religion to avoid our feelings. We may resort to denial of how we're feeling to stop our pain. We may stay so busy that we don't have time to feel. We may use money, exercise, or food to stop our pain. We have many choices. To survive, we may have used some of these options, only to find that these were band aids, temporary pain relievers that did not solve problems. They really did not stop our pain, they postponed it. In recovery, there is a better choice about how we may stop pain. We can face it and feel it. When we are ready with God's power and his help, we can summon the courage to feel the pain, let it go, and let the pain move us forward into a new decision, a better life. We can stop the behaviors we're doing that cause pain if that's appropriate. We can make a decision to remove ourselves from situations that cause repeated similar pain. We can learn the lesson our pain is trying to teach us. If we are being pelleted by pain, there is a lesson. Trust that idea. Something is being worked out in us. The answer will not come from addictive or other compulsive behaviors. We will receive the answer when we feel our feelings. It takes courage to be willing to stand still and feel what we must feel. Sometimes we have what seems like endless layers of pain inside us. Pain hurts, grief hurts, sadness hurts. It does not feel good, but neither does denying what is already there. Neither does living a lifetime with old and new pockets of pain packed, stored, and stacked within. It will only hurt for a little while, no longer than necessary to heal us. We can trust that if we must feel pain, it is part of healing and it is good. We can become willing to surrender to and accept the inevitable painful feelings that are a good part of recovery. Go with the flow, even when the flow takes us through uncomfortable feelings. Release, freedom, healing, and good feelings are on the other side. Okay. Today, I am open and willing to feel what I need to feel. I am willing to stop my compulsive behaviors. I'm willing to let go of my denial. I'm willing to feel what I need to feel to be healed, healthy, and whole. Hi, Guy. Hi, buddy. All right, so I want to say a couple things about this reading. um, it talks about using religion to avoid our feelings. There's a difference between religion and relationship. If you're going to God through a relationship that you have with Him, there is nothing wrong with that. And in fact, by going to God, you will be actually dealing with those feelings. Because if you truly go to God, He will deal with those things with you. And you can talk them through, and He'll help you with those. When my second ex-husband went to jail, I was here alone with my cats and myself and God. That was it. And we talked for hours and hours, day after day after day for that whole month. And just worked things through and worked through my feelings and my self criticisms and things where I wanted to blame myself. Maybe if I had done this, maybe I should have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have said this. It went on for a whole month. And I allowed myself to feel that way. I allowed myself to cry out to God and call out to God and say, God, what's wrong with me? God, is there something I could have done to prevent this? What if I had only seen what was going on? What if I had woken up and dealt with it? Well, I didn't. I fell asleep, and when I sleep, I sleep. Very little wakes me up. I'm a very sound sleeper. And I had no idea what was going on in the other room, just many feet from me. Had I known, of course, I would have immediately been on the phone and calling 911 and reporting him and dealing with it. Um, Again, you can't go back and change the past. You can't undo what you did, and you can't do what you should have done. So beating yourself up over it serves no purpose. Maybe there was fault on your end in something, and maybe you did the wrong thing. Maybe you made the wrong choice and acted in a wrong way. You can't undo what you did. You can only take responsibility, pay whatever penalty is there, and move on. The fact is, until our life is over, we still have a life to live. I don't care. Even the worst criminal is still living. They can't just like all of a sudden, oh man, I did this awful thing. I killed somebody. And then all of a sudden they just die on the spot. It doesn't usually happen that way. So, you know what they have a chance to do? They have a chance to admit to themselves that they did a heinous crime, that it was evil, that they acted on evil, and they can move on. They can have the right to make their life right, whether that's in jail or if the jail doesn't keep them, God decides to let them have a free choice again, then they have a right to live and keep on finding out how to live that life better. It's the truth, whether you like that or not. It's the way society works here. We don't kill every criminal that does something wrong. Therefore, when they get out from jail, they have a right to go and live their life, and they should be living it in a more responsible and less deadly way, obviously. Now, I didn't kill anybody, so I'm not talking about me, but honestly, that's really what life is about, is constantly making better choices and not harming other people in doing so, or ourselves for that matter. All right, talking about pain. Yeah, I had to feel that pain of losing my husband. That wasn't my doing, that was his doing. But I had to go through that, and I had to embrace that pain, and I had to allow myself to grieve and cry and feel that sadness so that I could move on to happier things and make the choices I needed to do, like getting a job, like pulling myself up by the bootstraps and putting a happy face on, and to have a good attitude about life, and to realize that just because there was one little setback, it's not going to have to define the whole rest of my existence. And it didn't, as you can see. All right, one moment. I think where it says this release, freedom, healing, and good feelings are on the other side. I think that's what we forget when we're going through it, is that there is another side. There very much, I can't talk. There very much is a pot of gold at the end of your rainbow. There is a tunnel, and on the other side of the tunnel, there's a light. Whether you believe that, literally when you die, there's a light at the end of the tunnel or not. But in your life, there is light at the end of that dark time that you're going through. Just keep telling yourself that. Maybe you are grieving somebody right now. Maybe someone's dying in your life. Maybe something awful is happening. Just realize that this is just one moment in time. As I tell my daughter, it's a drop in a big bucket of water. It's a very minor thing, even though it feels so major because you're in it. You will get through it, and there will be happier times on the other side. I hope this helped somebody today. Be encouraged, and we'll see you next time on Letting Go in 2019. Thanks so much for watching. God bless.